Hello everyone, this is Sijas from Coding with Sijas and welcome back to my channel. This is the 16th video in the UFS series. If you're watching this series for the first time, do click this link to access the entire playlist. That way, you can get to know what we have done until now and continue from there. Do consider subscribing to this channel for more content like this. In the last video, we were seeing the basics of UI5. We learned how to create an application from scratch and how to add more and more features into it. We have seen about models, controllers, views, language translations or internationalization, and we have used OData model to construct a CRUD applications. Now, in the comments, I have received a lot of requests for creating some simple application using UI5. So I thought, okay, let me dedicate this video only for that. So today we will learn how to create simple applications, which was requested by our subscribers. Shout out to the people who requested to create such applications. So without any further delay, let's jump to today's session. So we have a Visual Studio Code here, and let me install some additional extensions. So until now, we were creating the application from scratch. Since you know how things work, I don't think it is necessary for every time to create an application from scratch. So we will use some extensions or plugins which help us to automate this process. The first extension I'm going to install is called SAP Fiori Extension Pack. So let me search for that. SAP Fiori Extension Pack. So you can see there are a lot of things coming up here. So let me just check Modeler, Tools, Extension Pack. So basically an extension pack here is containing multiple other applications. So from this, we need something called application wizard, which we can use to generate our application. So let me go ahead and install this. It will take a while to install all 7 extensions. Yeah, so we have the 7 extensions installed here. And we also will be using something called UI5 language assistant. Right. So this is UI5 language assistant, which will help you to give suggestions or type aheads whenever you type a UI5 command. For example, it automatically understands what control you are working currently and suggests the properties and aggregations for it. So yes, I have installed both plugins. Let me go back. Perfect. So I'm opening the terminal window here. So I'm right now in MacBook, which is my folder. So I'll just go to our folder for Coding with Sijas. I have Coding with Sijas folder, list, and we are working on UI5. So cd UI5. Perfect. So I'm inside UI5 folder. So we will be generating our new applications here. So in this folder, we have the application which we are using in the last 15 videos. Let me just go back one folder behind. And I'll be creating a new application here. Firstly, what I need to do is I can press Ctrl Shift P or Command Shift P in Mac to get this suggestion or command palette, and from this I'll be selecting something called application generator. So you can type Fiori : open application generator. So this is the command. Once you get this, you get a wizard like this. Perfect. So in this we'll be choosing UI5 freestyle. So generally, Fiori applications can be divided into two. So Fiori is something like Fiori, SAP, UI5. It's like synonyms where UI5 is the programming language which you use to develop the application. Fiori being like a template or a concept, or maybe we can say a good coding guidelines which help you to create the applications. So Fiori basically have some certain coding guidelines which you need to follow to make your application more presentable, and also to give a common experience or to all customers. We will be following the same design template and everything. In Fiori, we have generally we divide into two. One is a UI5 freestyle application, where you will be writing the code for each and every functionality. Another one is called as Fiori Elements. So what is Fiori Elements? Fiori Elements is basically you will be having some CDS or the OData service, which will be having certain instructions, which is also called as annotations. So these annotations will tell the Fiori framework to generate the UI for you. So basically you will be mostly working at the annotation side rather the application side, where application here is auto generated. So what is the benefit of this is Basically, you wouldn't need to write any test cases or any testing to be done on the UI side. You don't have to write a unit or any integration test cases. Maybe you need to write some end-to-end test, but this will help you to have a unified experience among all the customers. So that is one benefit of having Fury elements, and we will be reducing the coding in the UI side. But here our intention is to learn more about UI5, and Fury elements will not help you do that. So that's why I am selecting SAP Freestyle, SAP UI5 Freestyle. So here I'll generate a simple SAP UI5 application. So I selected that option. Go next. For now, I am not using any services. So one of our subscriber requested to create an application which do simple calculation. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Next, so I'll create our first view. Okay, first is my view name. So module name is your application name. So I'll give the name as calculator, and maybe application to calculate. Namespaces, your package name. So here I'm using in.sijas.coding. Yeah, that's my package. And again, an application to calculate. That's it. The folder which I am choosing here is coding with Sijas, and I'll create a new folder here. So coding with Sijas is the full application. So I'll be creating the application over here, and let me continue with finish, and that's it. We have generated our application. So let me just do an ls, and you can see there is an application already. There is already a folder called calculator which is being created over here. So this application, or this wizard, which will be using a UI5 tooling, which we have learned in the past videos. So there is a tool called UI5 tooling, which will help you to manage dependencies and make your application running easily. So that is exactly what we're using here. So we have generated the application, and you can see that is already opened here. So so what I'll do is I'll directly, it's downloading all the dependencies what is required. So I'm not waiting for that. I'll directly open this in my terminal window, or I can, for easy purpose, I'll just open this folder. So open folder, and I'll go with calculator. So my default folder is always going to be the calculator. So I don't have to every time switch in my command prompt or in my terminal window. So here I have the application. So we are here. So let me try running it. So I'm calculator. So you can use UI5 serve, which will be running this application. So it's installing. So I'll just copy this link, and we will switch to our Chrome. Yep, index.html, and we have our basic application running. Perfect. So let me go to web app. You can see the structure. I have a controller. There is an IE18 file. There is a test folder which contains automated test for your integration testing and for unit testing, which we will be seeing in the later videos. In the view, you have your first view, and you can see there is already a title coming up here. So I'll go to IE18 file and change the title into calculator application. As soon as I save it, you can see my UI is being refreshed. It's already reflecting this change. So I'll go back to my view, and we will add our content over here. So what is our first content? So first thing we need is, we are creating a calculator. So basically I'll go ahead and create an input type. Let it be number. So before going to number, I can show you some, So let me use text for now. And yeah, for now that's it. So with this, I can see an input. Perfect. So then I need, you know, so what operation I'm going to perform. So I'll be doing a select operation. So under select, I'll be having the items. So what is the items I can give here? So you can see it suggests already, it is suggesting the items. So next you can see, you can press control space to get the suggestion. So I have a key which I'll call it as plus. This is plus, and text being plus. To save it, I'll switch back. So I have this option. Similarly, I'll repeat it 4 times. Plus, minus, multiply, divided by, and same thing I'm going to do over here also. Minus, multiply, and divide. So I have the options here now. I have 4 options. I'll create another input. Yeah. And I'll have another button which will calculate. Okay. Now we have a basic structure in place. Wait a minute. Type text. Okay, there is an extra close bracket. So yeah, now we have our options. Now let's go to the controller. So what do we do in the controller? Simple. So once a user clicks on calculate button, you need to call a function. Let me call a function called calculate. Go to the controller, add calculate function debugger. So this is where we start our journey. So now we have all the functions in place. Let me open the command prompt. Oh, I see. It's very difficult. It's touching the borders and all. So let me add a class for making it more presentable. So let me go to the page and add a content padding. So how do I add content padding? We can go to ui5.sap.com and go to documentation, add padding, and you will be seeing the class content padding, and I'll use the responsive padding. So copy, come back, class content padding, get back. So I have enough spaces now. It's a little more better, right? So let me go to my controller. So I click on calculate, it hits a breakpoint, but I need to get the values. So how do I get the value? I need to get the reference of all 3 things. So, but there is a problem here. None of it have an ID. So let me give an ID as OP1, which is operand 1. Yeah. Let me give it complete operand 1. And another ID for the second one, which is operand 2. And for this, I'll give an ID as operator. Perfect. Now we have 3 IDs. Let me go to the controller where operand 1. So operand 1 equal to this dot by ID 1. I'll just get a copy of this. Operand 1, operand 2, we'll be having operand 2, another one for operations. So 1, 2, 2, and operator. So these are the 3 things which we have now. So using this, we need to get, basically we need a value. So value 1 will be a string because we have given the type a string. So naming convention, operand 1 dot get value So I'll repeat this, and value 2 is nothing but, you know, into 2 dot get value. So yeah, we have this much. Let's go back to the application and see. I'm entering some 121 here and this one here and calculate. Sorry, I'll put a debug point, calculate. So we are here. Let me increase the screen size a bit. Perfect. Here also a bit. Enough. So you can see here calculate, and I'm going further. F10. Okay. So operand 1 is undefined. Okay, let's see what is the mistake. Oh, so maybe we have a yeah, operand, it's a B. So operand 1, 2. Perfect. Go back, refresh. 1, 12 and 13, 14. Okay. F10, F10, F10. Operand 1, perfect. 2, perfect. 3, perfect. You have the value, S value. Yeah, we have to change the variable also. And 1, yeah. 12 and 14, perfect. So we have a value here. So let's release it. Let's come back. And we have S operator, which we will be using operator dot get selected key. So get. Yep. Perfect. So we have these strings. So let's put a debug point at the end, and just to see whether the value for operator is also appearing. So you can see here it's selecting plus. I can go and select 1 and F10. I can see the value star. Perfect. So this way we have implemented a simple method, calculate. Now let's do the operation. So which S operator, right? So what operator do you have? So we have many cases. So first cases, let me call it plus and break. So we have these many cases. Copy, so paste 4 times. So I'll format it. Let me just simply format the document. Okay. Let me just format it. Okay. Perfect. So I've formatted it. So I'll just come down, format it. Okay. So we need another variable to store the result. So let me call it I result equal to 0. Yeah. And since you know that we have string type, we need to convert this into string into integer. So let me do a parseInt, comma 10, which will convert into integer. Again, parseInt, convert into integer. So I have 2 integer values. So all I need to do is, if it is plus, I'll do S value 1. Oh, I have not used the variable correct. Value, S value 1 plus S value 2. So something for here also same thing, but instead of plus, we have minus. Now next is multiply. I'll do the same. We'll do a multiply. And lastly, we have divided by. Let me do exactly that. Now once I'm out of this, I need to show the result. So if after each operation is successful, I'll just alert the result for now. So I'll say, the result is, so the result will directly say I result. Let's see how much it goes. So we have everything in place. 12 and 14. Calculate. We go to the point 26. Perfect. So I'll go back to my application. A small mistake. Let me use localization. So btn calculate. Have the variable btn calculate. Go to i18n. Calculate result. Perfect. Now with this, oops. Okay, I haven't saved it. Save both. Calculate result. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Perfect. 3 divided by 5. Result is correct. So what happened once you enter the text? So what is happening over here is, so let me just put it over here. This isn't right? So it when you take operand 1 and see what is the get value for it, you see it returns you a string. But why would I need this to accept a string? So what I'll do is I'll go back. I'll go to my view and change the type to number. Right. So with number, it will not accept any string characters except e, where e means exponential. So that is where now it only accepts numbers, and with this we have created a simple calculator application. So in further videos we will be exactly doing the same. We will be creating more and more applications like this. So here we have done this, but let me do a further more. So here we have used everything using ID, which is a very bad way of doing it according to me. So what I'll do is I'll create a model for everything, and that's my habit. And since we are using a MVC framework, we have to make sure application is model driven. Okay, so what we do is I'll import a JSON model library. So sap/UI/JSON model. Yep, I have JSON model here. I'll come here. I'll do JSON model. Perfect. So I have JSON model imported. Now I'll create an array where I'll call it a model or O model. So O model equal to new JSON model. So even before creating a model, let me create a data. So I'll create a data called variable called OData. So no, called OData model. No. OData model is kind of confusing, so let me use something called OCalc data. Okay. Just to have a better understanding. So OCalc data as what will it be having? So let me have one variable for OP1. This OP1, OP2, and rater, which are the three variables, and one for result. Perfect. So all these variables we are creating. Okay, this much we have done. Now we also need another one. for the select, right? It is select. That's going to be an array. Yeah. So let me have these value as e. So e is plus plus. So I'll repeat this. Copy, paste, paste, paste. We need 4, so we have plus, minus, minus, multiply, and divide. So this is our model. So I'm saving it, and I'll pass the calc data to the JSON model. So once both are done, so this dot set model, o model, set perfectly. So to test it, let me give value 1 and 2 here. I'll go back to my view. So we have ID here. So let me type value is coming from the default model dash P1. P1 for first one. I'll copy and value OP2. Let's see the result. I'll remove the breakpoint. Is there an error? Okay, this dot set model is what I have used. So this dot set model will not be there by default. So this dot get view dot set model. Perfect. You can see 1 and 2 appearing here. So now let me do an aggregation binding for this one. So it is coming from items. Okay. So what's the variable name? The variable name is aSelect. Go back, dash aSelect, and I'll remove this. This is a template. So I'll just use and I have reduced my code, and you can see exactly the same thing. Also, I'll be having one more variable which I have mentioned here called operator. So I'll also bind it. So it's called selected key. This operator. So we have it now. Now we'll go back to our calculate and first get the model instance. O model is equal to this dot get view get model. We have the model. Let me put a debug point for that and see it is appearing. Yeah, I have a model here and I have my data set also here. O data, everything is available. So operator for now nothing. Yeah, so we'll give a default operator value as plus. So we have that also. Now if I give 12 and 23 and multiply, calculate result, you can see the model. And basically if I go to model and check for O data, you can see 12 and operator is still plus. You just go back and figure out. Okay, relative binding is what I have specified, so let me just refresh it. Yeah, 12 23 multiply, no model, we have data. So let's see data, copy star, everything is perfect. Yeah, now let's replace some code. So we don't need the instance of operator 1, operator 2, all these things, and we can directly get it from our model. So O model, of get value we use O model dot get property op1 is our first value. Now let me select the second OP2 and I can get the operator directly from operator. Okay, now let's try with this. 22, 11, we get 33. Let's see F10. So S value 1, 11, perfect. Operator is plus, perfect. And at the end, we have a result as 33. Alert is not a good choice. So let me just go to our, after the button, let me add one text, which is having text. So I'll be having a binding and let it call a formatter. So for calling the formatter, I need parts to pass the variable inside that. So first is path for the result. So result is coming from slash result variable. So result back here and find a result. We will be writing a formatter for this. So formatter is another function which will give it as get format result. Perfect. Let me come back. I'll remove the alert from here that it's not annoying anymore. Save it. Breakpoint. Okay. Now we have our calculation done. So now we have to save the I result back to the model. So O model, then O model dot get property result is nothing but the I result. Okay. Now let's see how it works. P is coming up here. Okay. So as I mentioned, we need a formatter. So what will I do for this is I will be writing a formatter result. We go back to my controller. After this, I'll write a function for formatting the string. Takes I result as of the variable. You can give anything, it is just a formality. I have done. I'll use a debugger here. So let's see what are the options. Okay, so we are calling here. So calculate result. We are here. I result is 3 because 1 plus 2 is 3. We have set the model using the model set property. We have set the result. So you are getting the result. So we need to show the result directly. So before showing it directly, let me see whether I can get access to my resource bundle here. So get resource bundle. So that is from get model i18n. I am getting the model i18n. No, I'm not getting the model i18 because I have to use this dot get field. Okay, with this I can get access to get resource bundle. Perfect. So this is my 18n bundle. So I'll go back to my code. Instead of this, I write O bundle. This. Now I need to get the result. So S result equal to O bundle dot get text. So what is the text I need? I haven't given yet. So S result or app result equal to the answer is parameterized 0. So whatever is the answer will be replacing this parameter. That's our all idea. I'll go back, get text, app result, and I'll pass the parameter as I result. Okay. Save it. I come back here. I refresh. Nothing. 1 second. There an error. Process. Okay, I'll put a debug point here. Calculate. Not hitting. Let's see whether we have an error anywhere. Clear. Calculate result. Refresh. Yeah, it's hitting here. I result is 0. O bundle is there. Okay, perfect. We have calculated this result, but somehow we didn't return it. So return S result. Save it. Come back. See the output. Answer is this. Calculate. Answer is 3. Now the only problem is when there is no value, it is a result returning something. So we will write a condition. If I result, then we will do this, else we will do a return. So with this, we'll ensure that when there is only a solution for I result, we get it. So I can type 11, 22, and we get the result. The answer is 33. So with this, we can conclude for today. In this video, we have seen how to create a calculator application. We have used the concepts like event handler, controller, lifecycle methods like onInit. We have used JSON model and done some property binding and aggregation binding. Also, we have used internationalization and formatting. We also got introduced to a new extension like Fury extension pack and also the language assistant, which help you to have a better development experience and set up your dev environment better. Do post comment asking any questions if you have regarding any of the videos, also any special request for certain application. This application was a request by one of our subscriber. To honor the request, I have created this video and I'll be continuing to create more and more videos like this. Do consider subscribing this channel for more content like this. Also, share these videos and channel with your friends who is interested in learning UI5. That's all for today. See you folks in the next video.